Okay, if you're dealing with a potential pinched nerve in the neck or in the arm, so this will often present itself as a shoulder or maybe shoulder blade pain. So for the world of it, it feels like a shoulder issue, maybe even something in the trap, potentially down in here. Now, you can usually tell and you know when something goes wrong when you're like, okay, now I'm starting to get pain like down into my, specific fingers or hand. And it can be tingles, it can be pins and needles, all kinds of different symptoms. So you have to make sure that you at least assess and look at the lower neck, even if you're only having shoulder pain. So if you didn't do anything in particular where you're like, yeah, I pulled something really hard or pressed something, there's no accident, there's no mechanism of injury. You just kind of started feeling this symptom in your arm. Even if you have a little bit of a loss of motion, you'll often go in and they'll put an injection in your arm, or they'll look right there. But you have to at least take the 5 minutes and assess the lower neck to see if you get some change. So they might even give you like some kind of strange, shoulder exercises where you're kind of spinning your arms in circles or doing a few things this way. It probably won't affect you all that much when the problem is coming from the neck. And a high percentage of the time, at least 50, 60% of the time, if you have pain in this area, probably 40 to 50, if you've got pain down the arm in any sense, like elbow, forearm, wrist, it's a much higher, probably like 80, 90% of the time it's the problem is back here. The other thing that happens is don't let someone convince you that you've got a neck problem, a shoulder rotator cuff, lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow, and a wrist problem all at the same time. It's very unlikely. It's much more likely it's just a neck problem coming down. So you have to take your baselines. How far do you move? Make sure you understand where the pain is in the hand and arm. Take your baselines with your rotation, with side bending to each side, with down, with back, okay? Especially when you go back. If you feel that like, oh, that's really like aching down into my arm, then you know it's coming from there. You didn't even move your arm. If you can turn it on or affect it in any way with just head and neck movements, you know the source is there because you didn't even move your arm. You always want to start with just a very tall cervical retraction. That will often reproduce or change that pain very quickly. Even if it turns it up, like it increases the pain in the arm while you do it. Oh, that hurts, right? So from a 4 to a 6, that's worse pain. Okay, back to a 4 again. Let it calm back down. Don't stop. That's not wrong that it increased the pain. You have to test it to see if it's going to remain increased or if it's just a temporary, like pulling your finger back. Oh, that hurts, but then when I stop, no worse. So you'd start there, right? Sets of 10, and it's not down or back. It's straight in. So lots of those 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 reps, then retest. Okay, I can move easier. My arm moves easier. The pain moved from here to here. Things start changing and going up the arm, positive, down the arm, negative. If the overall intensity is less, that's a positive. But if it's a little bit more sore in the upper part, like in the neck and the trap, that's okay as long as it's tolerable. It's just slightly increased. So start there. Then you can start working back into more retraction extension or thoracic, like elbows up to the ceiling. So still tuck in and then up to the ceiling. That will get you more thoracic, and you can kind of get it from the bottom up. So you want to go from the top down and the bottom up, and we'll try to find that area. So hopefully that helps. Always start there with any kind of like trap shoulder arm pain because it's likely a neck problem, and monitor your baselines. Start there and let me know if anything else changes for you.